know what? Another topic that really has really divided me is Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when she was alive, I do remember her debut album, um, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number and At Your Best, and um, I thought, wow, this was actually I don't know if it's the production, but I really liked that debut album. I felt it,
Right.
it had a really good vibe. And then with the whole drama with R. Kelly, she moved with Timbaland and Missy, who did her stuff, and
Mhm.
she did okay. I mean, she had some decent hits, but I don't think she outshined Brandy at the time, and I just don't know who else was around her age. I think about it. I think Tony Braxton. I mean, when you think about how young they were, I don't think she was the biggest R&B female artist at the time. I mean, she
Right.
was in
Right.
good company. Um, but there seems to be, since she has passed, this sense that she was actually bigger than she was. I've seen different polls where if she has a single there, she wins by a landslide, almost as if she was that good. And and I want to say that as much as she was a talent, I didn't I think after the first album I didn't really appreciate her music the way a lot of people seem to, and I almost sometimes think maybe was I, and I was living in the States, I was accessing everything, but I do wonder, was there something I missed that maybe she was better, bigger and better than I remembered at the time,
Um.
or was it just because she died so young that there's a sense of, oh, we're remembering her more than she really contributed to the music industry. And as I said, this is just me just being open and honest and stuff. And that's why I wanted to get your opinion, because maybe I missed
Oh no,
something.
I respect honesty. I definitely respect honesty. In my opinion, I feel like this. I feel like Aaliyah is our new edition. Let my generation have our own version of the new edition. I mean, there's no rational reason for it. Stop trying to figure it out. She's gonna win every poll. It just is what it is. She's Aaliyah. We have to have our version of new edition where it doesn't make sense. But no, but the difference is Aaliyah does have a number one single on the Billboard chart. She does have almost 34 million copies of sold worldwide. So, I mean, there are a few things that we are ignoring. She does have seven number one R&B singles.
Oh,
So, I mean, I do get it. She was, I think her second album, which was One in a Million, was considered one of the most influential albums of the 90s. Now, that
oh,
was largely in part because that was the emergence of one of the most prolific and popular producers, Timbaland and
and
Missy.
Messi, yeah.
So that was how we were introduced to that partnership of Tim and Missy. So, and that style took over the landscape, and the
Mm,
blueprint was One in a Million. So there's a lot of influence that Leah was a part of. Also, her first album, R. Kelly was one of the biggest artists and producers of the early 90s. And he did a great job with that album. A lot of those songs were successful.
mm.
She was relatively unknown. She came out before Brandy and Monica. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think Billboard magazine also called her one of the 10th most successful female R&B artists. So,
Oh,
I mean, it's a lot of different in the last 25 years. So, it's a lot of different things that we're not aware of that she's gotten accolades for. So, is it? I don't know. Music is subjective, and so
mm,
some people are going to like certain things, and some people are not. It's just like Janet Jackson. Some people love what she does.
mm.
There's a group of people that question it, and I think that an Aaliyah, Sierra, those type of artists fall in that because you have that segment of people that are all about the vocals and the vocal performance, and then you have people that are just they love an overall entertainer, and then you have people that just love people that put on a great show. I mean, there's different things that when you that make it for people. So people are going to have different opinions.
Mm.
But yeah, she's our new addition. Deal with it. You know, we have to deal with the New Edition winning every poll, and it's just
Yeah.
not. But no, seriously, just I'm just joking with you guys. I know you guys love New Edition. That's fine. But
Yeah.
she's one of those artists. There's a lot of artists like this where they just get that kind of reverence. They just, and also, sadly she passed away, and people want to honor her, and it was a
Maybe
very
that's
tragic, sad thing.
yeah, maybe it's that. And I think also to be fair with Aaliyah that she wasn't one in the headlines. I mean, despite the whole Smith stuff with R. Kelly, she
Yeah, because that R. Kelly moment really wasn't as big as people in hindsight are looking at it as. Like I remember when she got married to R. Kelly, we knew about it. It was, I mean, as a youngster, I was a little, I thought it was a little strange. I thought it was, but at the same time, it didn't have that big of an effect and an impact like you would think it would, especially in that time. And this was a different era too, you
yeah.
know. Um,
Yeah, but I'm saying that she was one thing I have to credit her because despite the thing with R. Kelly, she wasn't in the news for stuff. We didn't see her at the back of the National Enquirer or stuff like that. So she was quiet. We didn't get many interviews. Well, she did interviews, but she wasn't risque in any way. And so I
right.
think that's she just kept to herself, kept her in a circle, and she seemed to almost be like a good girl singing some good stuff, and and maybe that's why sometimes I when I try and remember her, I can't. I'm thinking the tracks and the beats that she sang over were
Right.
amazing because Timbaland was just in his element with Missy, just experimenting on stuff, and she just had this very sultry voice. Um, but I
Well,
do.
I mean, you were correct in your observation that Brandy and Monica were bigger artists at that time. And so a lot of the conversation at that time was about Brandy and Monica. But Aaliyah was a good alternative.
Mm,
Most people who like Brandy and Monica, they like, Aaliyah as well. You know, there was some middling ground there. We could all of us could kind of like Aaliyah. So she was something different. She was known for dancing and performance and stuff like
yeah,
that. So by her being so young, we hoped of her being the next Janet Jackson, just in our, as youngsters looking at artists. But yeah, I mean, I like Aaliyah.
yeah.
I get the how people feel, and I do get
The
a little fatigued
sentimental.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but I do respect her career, and I understand what she means to people,
Mm.
and yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I mean, please give your thoughts. As I said, it's not me knocking her. It's just a
no,
sense
no,
of because
this is
I'm
a
sure
safe place for opinions, guys.
yeah,
Let's
because I know
talk about
if we saw a poll with Aaliyah, Brandy, Monica, Sierra, Janet Jackson, Beyonce, Aaliyah will probably win, and I guess this, from my point, there's a sense of was she that big back in the day? But anyway, it's as Omar says, she is a generational new edition who are
yes.
sentimentally untouchable. So yeah, give us your thoughts,
Deal with
guys.
it, people. Let us know your thoughts. See you next time on the next episode of Can We Talk R&B podcast.
Thanks again for watching, guys.
And before we go, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Yeah, and also remember to turn on the notification so you can know when we have another show. But thanks again.
That too.